Chale, so we'll start away with our labor costing. Now you all have done your cost sheet, so therefore you are well aware that first thing that comes is material. So we are going to be doing a chapter on that called as material costing. Then comes labor. So that is what we are now up to, that is labor. Labor usually, not always, but this is a term that is used for those particular people who do some kind of a work which is laborious work, means not a mind work but a physical work, okay. Although even for doing the physical work, we still require mind. But then, like, you know, in my English sense, we usually call these people as blue-collared people as against white-collared people. White-collared people are those people who are paid salaries, okay, like the clerks, the managers, up and so on. These guys are paid salaries, okay. But the wages word is usually there for those particular people who are doing some blue-collar job, okay. Now, in this chapter, we are dealing mostly with direct labor. So, direct labor are those categories of workers who are directly engaged in production. Although crudely, I might also refer to those categories of people who are actually not engaged in production but indirectly engaged in production. Example, say that there are some people who are cleaning the factory floors. There are some people who take care of greasing the machinery. There are some particular people, like, you know, who try to move the goods from one place to another in the factory. Now, these guys are also my workers, might not be direct workers. They are not producing any product. Okay, so these guys are popularly called as indirect workers. Difference between direct workers and indirect workers as far as your syllabus goes, okay, is one simple thing. Direct labor has its own head in cost sheet, but indirect labor comes as part of factory overheads. Okay. I'm mainly interested in direct workers, but I might be interested in indirect workers also. Okay. Now, direct workers are those particular people who are engaged in production. These guys are those particular people who are actually going to be producing the product. Now, whenever we are going to be paying money to them, okay. Now, before that, I'm asking you all something that you all know since 12th standard, okay. You know, we always say this particular thing. There are 5 factors of production, okay. You produce, okay, because of these 5 factors of production. They are also called as 5 M's of production. Somebody will be knowing them for sure, okay. 5 M's of production in this case are what if somebody can tell me? Machines, this is one thing, okay. Second, materials. Third, money. Fourth, men, okay. Men will include to women also, okay. We are not gender biased or something, okay. Fifth is management. So I'll complete the list, okay. These are 5 factors of production. In case you're going to be producing, then you produce with the help of these particular 5 things. Machines, I'll deal with that thing in final CA in a chapter called as total productive maintenance and in a chapter called as theory of constraints. Whereby we'll try to be seeing how to run the machines in a proper way, those particular things. Material, we are going to be having chapter number 2 and this is also going to be there in final say with us, okay. Money, your FM takes care of that. Your financial management is basically there for trying to take care of your money, trying to grow it, okay. Men is something that I'm interested right now, means I'm not interested in men, okay, but I'm interested in this particular chapter as such, okay. And management, that's okay, there's a general term, okay, all those people who try to run your entire factory, okay. Now, obviously, as compared to other factors of production, no, this is slightly different. Why? Because every person is different. No two people will be same, no matter they are twins also. They will have their own abilities, own capabilities, own mood swings, okay. And different things motivate different people. Like for me, what motivates, okay, is always like, you know, say sports, okay, but for you something might motivate, that is say money, okay. So in this case, different people desire different things in life, okay. Now for the purpose of this chapter, at least in CA Inter, every worker only requires one thing, and that is money. So if a worker does brilliant job, you might tell him, you have done fantastic work. He will say, give money no for that. Okay. There is only one thing in this particular case that motivates a person, and that particular thing in this case is nothing but money. Okay. And that is whatever I am interested in right now. So money is the only thing that will try to motivate. So there is only one motivating factor for every worker, and that is how much money does he get. Now, the money paid to a worker is popularly called as wages, okay. And generally we say, not always, okay. Now, please do remember that we are trying to talk of businesses. There are no rules as such. Okay, I cannot tell you this is whatever happens in real life. Beta, in real life, though, anything can happen. Okay, so we are just trying to talk in generality. We usually say that workers can be paid wages based upon usually two criteria. Which two criteria? In this case, either workers can be paid based upon time systems. We call them as time wages. Or in this case, they can be paid based upon number of units or number of pieces that they all make. We call those particular things as piece rate wages. Okay. So therefore, either a worker will be there on time basis system or a worker is going to be there on piece rate system. These are the two categories that are there. Obviously, under time wages, we tell a worker, we are going to be paying you this much per hour. Okay. Obviously, his total wages will depend upon, tell me what are the factor? If a worker will be paid based upon rate per hour, his total wages will depend upon, his total wages will be calculated as this into rate per hour. What is this?
Working hours.
Number of hours worked, no, obviously. So therefore, number of hours worked into rate per hour in this particular case will be nothing but his total wages. So number of hours worked into rate per hour. Okay. Then in this particular case, piece rate wages. Piece rate wages, we tell a worker, if you will be making 1 unit, I will give you this much. Okay. Obviously, his total wages will depend upon, tell me what? Number of units produced. So therefore, number of units means number of pieces produced. Okay. So that's why it's called as a piece rate system. So number of units produced into rate per unit. Okay. Now do remember one thing always, and that is a general rule. Okay. Rate per hour or rate per unit. These are the rates at which you will get paid. Can you say rates have to be known to every worker before he will start the work, no?
Yes.
Example, suppose you all become CA, okay, you all try to be thinking that I will work in say KPMG, okay. Now they took their interview and then you started to work, okay. At the end of the month, okay, you ask them the money. Those guys try to tell you, हमको तो लगा तू फोकट के अंदर काम करने के लिए आया. Okay, अभी that thing cannot happen. Obviously, whether it is rate per hour or rate per unit, it has to be decided in advance. No, everybody should be knowing, okay, at what rate you will be getting paid if you are going to be working. Okay, so always do remember that rate per hour or rate per unit, any particular rate has to be known in advance. Unless and until you know those particular things in advance, why will a worker work, right? So under time wages, we try to be saying that total wages will depend upon number of hours worked into rate per hour. And under piece rate system, workers will be paid based upon number of units that you all produce, and obviously we'll multiply that particular thing by, in this case, rate per unit. Whether it is this rate or this rate, it has to be known to a worker in advance. Apart from that, there could be few other things, like in case of time wages system, there might be certain stipulated number of hours. If you work more than that, then there could be overtime or something. So there is one part of the chapter that we'll try to see into after some time. Okay. Usually for overtime, there are some rules which are formed by the government also. If you work for more than these many hours in a certain week or in a certain month, then the company has to be paying the overtime. Okay. Now, in reality, what might happen, workers might not purposely work properly in the normal hours. So therefore, the company has to resort to overtime, whereby these guys will be paid more. Okay. Now, all those kind of issues, no, okay, all those particular issues, I'll try to resolve in final CA. At Inter CA, no, we only have the calculations as such. We are not trying to be thinking what is good for the business, what is bad for the business. They will give you the data, you just compute. Okay. Your CA inter portion, no, is not about making strategies. Okay. Your CA inter portion is all about those guys have made the strategies. You just try to give them the answer. That's it. Okay. It's basically all numerical problems that you are doing in costing. In final CA, we shift our focus from here to more important things, whereby how to manage the workers, what the workers can try to do to take more money from us. Okay. How do we judging that they are doing good work or bad work? So all those particular things. Okay. Now, time wages and piece rate systems. Okay. These are most popular systems of giving the wages to the workers. There might be other systems also that I'll try to be explaining whenever we all proceed with the chapters. Okay. So now listen very carefully. Now see. Under piece rate systems, where you have two categories of systems. Which two systems? You have something called as SPR. You have something called as DPR. Okay, what is SPR? SPR is straight piece rate or single piece rate, means the same thing only. Okay, straight piece rate or single piece rate. Then DPR will of course mean differential piece rate. Okay, now what do you mean by SPR? Example, a worker is joining our factory. Okay, he asks me, sir, how much will you pay me? I tell him, you produce 1 unit, I will pay you rupees 10. He says okay. He asks me, sir, if I make 5 units per day, how much will you pay me? I say 50. Sir, if I make 15 units per day, how much will you pay me? I told 150. He told, sir, if I will make 90 units per day, how much will you pay me? I called him. Padak. Okay. Well, whatever you want to produce, you produce. Bloody, for every unit, I will pay you how much? 10. So therefore, there is one single rate that is applicable to you, irrespective of whether you are doing your work efficiently or you are not doing your work efficiently. Is that all okay?
Yes, sir.
This is called as single piece rate, or single piece rate can also be written as straight piece rate. Okay, so this is one category. Okay, and then you have differential piece rate. Now for differential piece rate, no, in the older portion of costing, means before 2018 or something, there were various authors, like you might have heard of. There's one guy called as Frederick Taylor. You will have heard of ever in your entire life?
Yes.
He made time and motion study. Okay, one of the very popular persons, like, you know, how to be doing the manufacturing. He gave lot of ideas. In final say, we have one theory of that guy called as cellular manufacturing. So these guys had presented their own view regarding DPR. Now that portion has been deleted by the institute. You should just be knowing that what do you mean by DPR. I'll give you that example. I tell a worker, if you produce lesser than 20 units per day, no, then in that case, I will pay you rupees 8 per unit for every unit that you have produced. He says, okay. I tell him, if you make 20 units or more per day, 20 units or more per day, I will pay you rupees 11 for every unit that you have made. He says, okay. So therefore, there are different rates for different levels of efficiency. You understood what I told? Okay, that is called as a DPR system. Full form of DPR is what? Differential piece rate. Now suppose in this case, there is one worker. Okay, let's call him as Ramu Kaka. Okay. Now Ramu Kaka in this particular case, suppose makes 30 units per day. Tell me at what rate he will be getting paid, beta? 11. Okay, there is one more person. Okay, abhi say Mr. X. Okay, he produces 15 units per day. He will be getting wages at what particular rate here? 8. So therefore, there are different rates for different levels of efficiency. Okay, that particular thing is popularly the breakup of a piece rate system. You have SPR and you have DPR. If a DPR scheme will be there, no. Okay, those guys in this particular case will give you something like this. You just have to try to implement the things. Okay. Now, let's come back, because our first few questions, no, I'm only going to be talking of time wages system. I'm only going to be talking of time wages systems. Okay, now see. Listen, today, no, I'm only going to be dealing with one small part, and that also, no, I will not try to do everything. Okay, I'm only trying to be dealing one very small thing. A worker was being paid at the rate of paid based upon time wages system. He joined our factory. He joined our factory. He asked me, sir, at what rate I will get paid? I told you will be there on time wages system. He says, okay, I'll be working on time wages system. I say, okay. He says, sir, at what rate per hour you will pay me? I told, you work for 1 hour properly, I'll pay you rupees 20 per hour. He said, okay. Listen very carefully. He started to do the production. Now, before he started to do the production, the management told him one other data. Management told, for 1 unit of the product, no, for 1 unit of the product, you should be taking 2 hours. Okay, don't take more time than this. For 1 unit, you should be taking 2 hours. This 2 hours is popularly called as standard time. What do you mean by standard time? Is the time allowed by the management to produce 1 unit of the product. Okay. So in this particular case, worker should be taking 2 hours for making 1 unit. This is the ideal time. Okay. Like in all your questions, okay, for the homework section, which you have not started to solve till now, that I'm aware, okay, this is nothing but your standard time. Okay. You tell me one thing, if you beat this particular time, then in that case, you are efficient or inefficient? Efficient. If you do not beat this particular time, you are inefficient. Okay. Now, do remember, if a worker is efficient, no, you might tell him, you are a superb guy, you are fantastic. You might tell him those particular things. He is only interested in money. Okay. But always do remember one thing, this time is very important for the management to set properly. This is the benchmark time. This is the benchmark time. Example. If I'll tell you something over here, this question no should have taken 9 minutes and 7 seconds. Okay, when I solved no this question for the first time, I took 9 minutes and 7 seconds, and that's how I write it. Okay. Now tell me, in this case, is this a good way to set the standard time, whatever I have done? I'm just asking, okay, I said that this question should be getting over in 9 minutes and 7 seconds, okay. How did I get this particular thing? Did God come into my dreams? Anuj, this question should be taking 9 minutes and 7 seconds. Put it in your textbook. Did I do it up like this? No, okay. I solved it to myself, okay. If I can take 9 minutes and 7 seconds, you should be taking 9 minutes and 7 seconds. I'm just asking, do you have some better way of calculating this particular time? Just asking. Some other way, suppose you become a teacher, you have to set this particular kind of a benchmark time. Then in that case, how would you like to set this particular time? I solved it myself. So I thought if I can take 9 minutes and 7 seconds, you all should be taking it. Okay. You have some other way to be doing it? Okay. So one of the things that you all can be doing, okay, somebody can try to tell me, and a good answer. Sir, we all students will solve this particular question. Okay. Suppose 50 students, they volunteered. Sir, we will solve this particular question. I told okay. Now, everybody took some particular time. Okay. I'll put that in the Excel. I'll find out the average. That could be another way to be finding out this particular thing.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yes.
But that method might have one disadvantage. Just discussing it. It is all okay only. But that method might have one disadvantage. Can you say if most of the people in out of those 50 people will be dumb, this particular time will increase, no?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so I try to be thinking that I am an average person. Okay, I am neither too intelligent, I am neither too dumb. So therefore, I represent average intelligence. Okay, so Anuj is average intelligence. So therefore, if I should be taking 9 minutes and 7 seconds, I try to be thinking this is whatever time you all should be taking. Okay. But in reality, usually what is done is whatever you all told, in fact. Okay, see, 1 unit should be taking 2 hours. You only try to be thinking this time no has to be very accurate. Okay, this time cannot be just written as any time. I don't write down 9 minutes and 7 seconds as any damn thing here. Okay, I try to solve it. Okay, now when I solved it for the first time, I took this much amount of time. Okay, obviously I should not write the time that I take now, because now I know this question, no? Correct, no? Okay, so I should try to take the time that I took first time. Okay, now example, I'm asking you all. Correct time, correct standard time. Okay, I'll write down over here standard time. Okay, correct time for solving one question should be 9 minutes and 7 seconds. I try to be thinking, no yaar, let the standard time of this question be 1 minute and 8 seconds. I write down over here 1 minute and 8 seconds. Although this question ideally should be completed in 9 minutes and 7 seconds. Okay, but I set the standard time very tough as 1 minute and 8 seconds. You tell me, as a student, will you be motivated or demotivated? Demotivated. I think so. The moment you will think, the moment you will see this particular thing, now you start to be thinking, sir, 1 minute and 8 seconds, we will take this time only to read the question, no? Sir, तो ये वाला क्वेश्चन अपने को सॉल्व नहीं करने का है सर फिर. Okay, correct, no? So you cannot have standard time which is very tough, else workers will not be motivated only to work. Okay, let's do the other thing. Okay, let's have this particular time as 1 hour 9 minutes and 7 seconds. Okay, I set this particular time as 1 hour 9 minutes and 7 seconds. You all have got nothing to do in your life, so I told okay, take 1 hour 9 minutes and 7 seconds. You tell me, is that correct?
No, sir.
What will be the disadvantage of that?
Sir, it will take too much of time.
In exam, your papers will never ever get over, no?
Yes, sir.
Today your speed will be less, in exams will be worse, yaar. Okay. So somewhere or the other, it's very important that your standard time is neither too strict nor too loose. It should be ideal time. Okay. But then do remember, like, to compute ideal time or standard time is actually the hardest of the jobs in real life. Although in questions they'll give you, so therefore there's nothing to bother. But then in real life, it is very tough to be like, finding out the standard time, because if you set it too tough, then nobody will be motivated. Okay. If you set it too easy, those guys will not work only properly. They'll try to take their own sweet time. Yeah. So then how do you set this particular time? Okay. I'm giving you one example. I had 1000 workers in my factory. Okay. 1000 workers in my factory. I'm giving you an example. In fact, based upon whatever that girl had replied to me, I'm exactly giving that particular example only. Okay. 1000 workers in this particular case, like, we had a team of 1000 workers. It was Saturday today. Okay. So I held a meeting of all these workers. I told them, see, tomorrow, it is Sunday. I know that the factory is closed. You might not be coming. But those people who want to be earning some extra money, you all might be coming tomorrow. You'll have to work from 10 to 6. Okay. So then I asked, how many workers will be coming? Out of 1000 workers, no? Okay. 200 people raised their hands. 200 people raised their hands. Okay. 200 people raised their hands. Okay. They told, sir, we will come tomorrow. I told, okay. Tomorrow you all come at 9:55. You will start your work at 10 a.m. You will work till 6 p.m. Okay. So you are going to be working for 8 hours. They all told, okay. So Sunday came. Okay. At 9:55 they all came. When they came, I told them, just hear me out for 2 minutes. Workers told, okay, sir, you are our boss. We have to hear you only. I told, okay. So I started to address them. I told them, see, today is Sunday. So today you are just going to be working normally. We are not going to be giving you anything extra or something. Please work from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and please try to be working at normal speeds. I don't want you all to be working very slow. I don't want you all to be working very fast. Work at your normal speeds. Okay, they all told, okay, sir, we all will work at normal speeds. I told them, work from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. They told, okay, sir, so we'll be working for 8 hours. I told, no. You'll start to work at 10. You will be there in the factory till 6, but obviously, like every other day of Monday to Friday, I don't expect that you're going to be working for 8 hours, because out of 8 hours, I'm going to be giving you 1 hour and 30 minutes of lunch break like we have every day. I'm going to be giving you 15 minutes further for resting. Okay. And in this case, I'm going to be giving you 15 minutes of tea break. So whatever we all have from Monday to Friday will be applicable today also. Okay. So therefore, can we say these 2 hours will be lost in any particular case, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So tell me, can we say this time management has only allowed off, no, in middle?
yes.
Any loss that you know in advance will happen is going to be called as which loss, beta? Normal loss. Today in reference to worker, we call it up as normal idle time. That's the only difference. Okay. So normal idle time is basically any time that satisfies 3 criteria. First, it's a time when the worker is present in the factory. Obviously, he's present in the factory for those 2 hours. Second, he's not working. Obviously, he's not working. Okay. He's eating his lunch. Okay. He is having his tea. He's resting, or time allowed for personal needs. I hope so you all understand. And one sec, I told you 3 criteria. It's a time when the workers are present in the factory. Second, but they are not working. Third, and management knows this fact in advance that they are not working. Okay. Obviously, can you say management has only allowed this lunch break, tea break and all? No. So management knows in advance that workers will not be working for these 2 hours. Is that okay?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. So this particular time is popularly called as normal idle time. Okay. Now, so therefore, out of 8 hours, they are supposed to be working for how many hours, beta? They are not supposed to be working for 2 hours. So therefore, they are supposed to be working for how many hours? 6 hours. Okay. So now listen very carefully. Okay, this example is the only thing that should be going inside your head. Okay, properly. So out of 8 hours, they are not supposed to be working for 2 hours. They are supposed to be working for 6 hours. Okay. They all worked from 10 to 6. Okay. In middle, there was supposed to be 2 hours of that normal idle time. They all went. At 6 o'clock, they all went. We started to count how many units these guys have produced. In all, how many units these guys have produced. Okay. We counted. Total number of units produced in this particular case were 800 units by all the people. Tell me, all the people means how many people were working on that day? 200. So therefore, can we say in a day of 8 hours, workers usually produce 4 units? Is that okay? Okay. So 4 units are produced in how many hours here? 8 hours. So 1 unit on an average should be taking how many hours here? 2 hours. Exactly this particular thing I told you over here. So therefore, in real life, one of the ways to arrive at standard time is to be doing this. You will understand that I am taking average of 200 people. In fact, you all will understand, more number of people, better will be the average, no?
Yes.
It is a normal thing. If your sample size is larger, you will always arrive at better answers, no? Correct, no? Now, example, if you don't understand the meaning of the term sample, okay, say in 2021, you took COVID vaccine, okay, now they wanted to find out what is the efficacy of, you understand the term? What is the efficacy? Means how good is the vaccine against this, okay. So what these guys did, like, that suppose like, you are one of those particular people who took both the vaccines, okay. Now, after that, you all still caught corona. Now, in that particular case, now, what government did, out of a population of 130 crores, okay, they took sample of only 10 people. And out of 10 people, 8 people had got corona after taking both the vaccines also. Does it mean that the vaccine is bad? No, it usually will mean that your sample size was too stupid, no? Now, you cannot have example. What could be more stupid? Instead of taking a very big sample, you took only one single person. Okay. If he got COVID, entire country got COVID. Okay. You cannot try to generalize the things, no, like this. Okay. But I think like, we are taking sample of 200 people out of 1000 workers. So I think that this particular thing represents their work in a proper way, no? So on an average, 1 unit should be taking how many hours here? 2 hours. Is that okay? You all will understand, some workers would be efficient, some workers would be inefficient. So these 2 hours will try to nullify efficiency and inefficiency both and will try to give you a good answer, no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now further thing. Listen. Can we say in those 8 hours, there was 2 hours of normal idle time, no?
Yes, sir.
Correct, no? So, one sec. In those 4 hours, there was 2 hours of idle time. Sorry, in those 8 hours, there was 2 hours of normal idle time. So, now I am speaking something different. For 4 units, there is 2 hours of normal idle time. For 1 unit, there will be how much? Can we say that will be nothing but 30 minutes, no, over here? 30 minutes, you all understood? In 8 hours, there is 2 hours of normal idle time. Okay. And in 8 hours, you produce 4 units. So, therefore, 1 unit in this particular case will be 30 minutes. So, one rule that you always have to remember. When you say no, 1 unit should be taking 2 hours. Can we say 2 hours will include normal idle time, no? Can we say this 1 unit is equal to 2 hours came from here, no? 4 hours is equal, 4 units is equal to 8 hours.
Yes, sir.
Okay. 4 units is equal to 8 hours. So 1 unit is equal to 2 hours. Okay. And if 8 hours includes 2 hours of normal idle time, can you say this 2 hours will have proportionately 1/4, no? That is 30 minutes, no? So do remember one rule, okay? Those people who made costing foundation, no? They always told one thing. And that thing should be always on back of your mind. What did those guys say? standard time should include normal idle time. Okay, they always told this particular thing. Standard time should speak for the should include normal idle time. Okay, that is one rule that you all try to be obeying. This is whatever we will usually obey unless until some says that you don't obey that. Okay, so standard time should always include normal idle time, and always do remember one small thing. workers get paid for normal idle time. Now what do you mean by that? Okay, now example, workers joined our factory. Okay, in this case they asked, sir, we have to be working from what time to what time? I told, you will come to the factory at 10 a.m. you will go back at 6 p.m. They told, okay sir, we will work for 8 hours. Okay, I told, you come to the factory for 8 hours, but out of that 1.5 hour will be your lunch break, 15 minutes your tea break, 15 minutes resting time. So therefore out of 8 hours, 2 hours you are not supposed to be working. Sir, we will work for 6 hours, sir. Okay, I told, yes, you will be working for 6 hours, go now. He told, sir, we will not go. I asked why. Sir, at what rate you will pay us? Obviously that is a very important question. I told, listen very carefully, for every hour that you work, we will pay you rupees 80 per hour. Okay, they told, okay, we will pay rupees 80 per hour. I told them, listen very carefully, for every hour that you work, we will pay you rupees 80 per hour. Tell me one thing, how many hours workers are going to be working every day? Working. 6 hours. Now listen very carefully, 6 hours into rupees 80 per hour. So every day if they will work properly, can we say company is supposed to be paying them 480, no?
Yes.
Okay, although this 480 is 6 hours at the rate of 80 per hour, but we are going to be writing this 480 from now onwards as 8 hours into balancing figure 60 per hour. Those people, as I was saying, who laid the foundation of costing, no, they always told, wherever you write down hours of worker, write down the hours which include normal idle time. So therefore you have to be writing the hours which include normal idle time. So therefore including normal idle time, how many hours in a day? You all tell me that. 8 hours. So therefore in this particular case it will be 8 hours into rupees 60 per hour. Now the moment I explain this particular thing to some students, no, they start to be thinking, sir, what nonsense, sir, they are only working for 6 hours, how the hell you pay them for 8 hours? Arey, if I will write down 6 hours, then I will write down what wage rate, beta? 80. If I am increasing the number of hours, I am decreasing this. See, as long as I am paying 480, it doesn't matter, no? Okay, but from the time costing has come, no, I don't know for whatever reason, everybody follows this particular method by default. Okay, now impact of this particular method you all should always remember. And what is that particular impact? That hours will always include normal idle time. Is that all okay?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Hours will always include normal idle time. Okay, now that is something that is very important. Hours will always include normal idle time. So do remember, for the purpose of this particular chapter, no, wherever you will record hours, no, you are going to be recording these particular hours. These hours are, in this case, those hours that will include normal idle time. Give me maximum 5 minutes more. Okay, listen very carefully. Now worker was about to be working. Okay, he asked me, okay, sir, I will join. I said, you join. Sir, at what rate per hour you will pay me? I told you will be paid rupees 20 per hour. Okay, so therefore this wage rate, no, is popularly called as basic wage rate. Okay, basic wage rate. So basic wage rate in this particular case is rupees 20 per hour. This is basic wage rate. Sir, I will start to work from tomorrow. Next day he came. He asked me, sir, can I start to be working? I told, you can, yaar. He told me, sir, what is the standard time to produce 1 unit? I told, standard time to produce 1 unit in this particular case For 1 unit, you should be taking 2 hours. I told him, you beat this time, I will give you something extra also. Do remember that whenever a worker is efficient, no, you should motivate a worker. And there is only one thing that you can do to motivate. For the purpose of this particular chapter, the only thing that motivates a person is what? Money. Okay. Now you will tell me just last 2 things. Okay. In a day of 8 hours, this guy produced 5 units. Okay. Tell me, is he efficient? Yes or no? Everybody. For 1 unit, he should be taking 2 hours. In a day of 8 hours, he produced 5 units. Is he efficient? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. I can try to tell you in 2 ways. Although I am interested in one of the 2 ways, but then I will tell you both the ways. First, 1 unit should have taken 2 hours. So in 8 hours, workers should have produced how many units here? 4 units. Workers produced how many units? 5. So can you say one of the meanings of efficiency could be hours remaining constant, workers produce more units. Is that all okay? The other way to look at it. The other way to look at it could be something like this. 1 unit should have taken how many hours beta? 2 hours. So can we say 5 units should have taken, tell me further, how many hours?
10 hours.
10 hours. And workers completed the job in how many hours beta? 8 hours.
8 hours.
So can we say efficiency can be twofold. Twofold means in the same number of hours you produce more units, you will be efficient. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Or for the same number of units, speak further, you take lesser number of hours. In any case, you are efficient. Whenever a worker is efficient, pay him something more. That more is popularly called as bonus. Bonus is a compensation for efficiency. Okay. So whenever you are going to be giving a worker something more for his efficiency, that extra thing is going to be called as what here? Bonus over here. Is that all okay? In our next lecture, we are only going to be seeing that what should be the bonus schemes that are there. In world, there are many authors with many bonus schemes. Out of them, 2 very popular guys. One of them is James Halsey. One of them is Edward Rowan. Okay. Originally, I have learned more than 112 schemes. Okay. How to be giving bonus. Okay. I have learned means I have read. Okay. But out of all those things in your syllabus, you have Halsey scheme and then you have Rowan scheme. These are the 2 most popular ones. In our next lecture, we'll start away with this only, that how do these particular schemes work as such. Okay, that's it.